Hello all, it's United Talk, and first of all, if you're watching this video, genuinely thanks. What I would really like is if people, you probably read, if you're watching this video, I mean, I don't think I have enough traction for non-reds to be on it, but I started this because I love to talk about football and I love to talk about United, but I love just any football talk. So what I'm asking is if you have any thoughts on this video, or if you've watched any of my other videos, or any thoughts on any form of football, stick them in the comments, because my goal is to sort of have a community where I can gauge people's thoughts and opinions, and we can have discussions and the like. So yeah, I just want to say, if you've got any thoughts on anything football related, but especially United, stick it in the comments, because it'd be great to hear from some other fans. But that said, the point of the video today is I want to talk about more mainstream media shite, more hypocrisy, and more use of our football club for their gain. And what I'm hoping is that maybe I can't do it, but maybe someone sees this video that has much more of a platform, or somebody sees somebody that knows someone that has more of a platform than me, but we can start to unite against this crap, the blatant use of United for their financial gain. Because United being the biggest news, they've always used United, but it's bigger news still when they can create emotional times at United, and any chance they get, they do it. If there's any little chink, they drive a wedge and try to create a chasm, because it benefits them. And I'm tired of it. And you can have your opinions, your views on things. It's not what I'm saying. You don't have to say that everything's rosy. I don't think everything is rosy. But I'm fed up with the hypocrisy of the mainstream media and the way they use our club for their gain. So I saw Jamie O'Hara has done a video on Sky Sports. Jamie O'Hara, whose career achievements are noted as one-time third-tier winner, two-time UEFA Cup participant. That is it. So he suddenly has the platform, which you'd think it would require some knowledge. He uses this platform, Sky Sports, they're the biggest for it, to dig out Ruben Amorim, who has many more achievements than one-time third-tier winner, two-time UEFA Cup participant. So Ruben Amorim, the guy that has managed in top flight football, that has broken the dominance of Benfica and Porto with Sporting Lisbon, who then off of that success landed a job managing the biggest club in the world, but Jamie O'Hara is telling him what to do. It's a joke. So in this Sky Sports interview, he was asked, are there signs of progress under Ruben Amorim? And Jamie O'Hara was like, no, not really. Okay, so he said, well, the goalkeeper's kept a clean sheet. Oh, well, yeah, he should have kept, non-league keeper should save that. And he was talking about the Sunderland game, obviously. And he said, oh, they've won a football match against Sunderland. They should beat Sunderland. And Sunderland had a chance. If they'd have scored, they could have got right back in it. Which, granted, if they'd have scored, they might have. But they didn't. They didn't score. Lamont come in, played his first game, kept a clean sheet, and we won 2-0. Right? So, but Jamie O'Hara then proceeded to downplay that result against Sunderland. Oh, they're just a championship team that come up through the playoffs. They should be beating them. Blah, 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 blah. You know, all that waffle that comes out. Okay, Jamie. So, Sunderland had not lost a game in the Premier League until their 7th game, which was us. In that time, they've beat Nottingham Forest, who are in Europe because of how well they done last year. They drew with Aston Villa, who are in Europe, right? They drew with Crystal Palace, the same Palace that everybody is gassing up Glasner, and quite rightly, because they've done bloody well. But everybody's gassing them up, right? They drew 0-0 with them. They slapped West Ham, who are an established Premier League side. Now, I know they're doing shit this year, but they slapped them in the first game 3-0. They had not lost a game of football until United played. So where was the talk of all of those other teams failing to beat them? If it's that easy to do, why are all them managers not getting hammered for failing to beat them, Jamie? It's nonsense. It's quite clearly using United and trying to cause upset for your gain. And I've had enough. Like I say, everybody's been gassing Glasner up because he plays the same system as Ruben, and they've been doing really well. But they couldn't beat Sunderland, who just got promoted through the playoffs. So what's your take on that, Jamie? You're a joke. And like I say, Sunderland beat West Ham 3-0. Right, they beat West Ham 3-0. So the Gary Neville podcast, after the weekend's fixtures, Gary Neville, supposed United fan, right, legend of the club, that's not in a doubt, legend of the club, phenomenal right back, phenomenal player, all the trophies, appearances, United captain, none of that is in doubt. But he is now employed by Sky Sports. Okay? Sky Sports gain from the attention United creates. There's not a moment goes past that the likes of them and TalkSport and whoever do not say about United. Right? But Gary Neville is now employed by them. So he was asked by Martin Tyler about Arsenal and how well they've done against West Ham, because there's potential banana skin and they could have dropped points. Right? They won 2-0 at home against West Ham, who are 19th. Okay? This is also the team that have assembled the best squad, probably the strongest squad in the country, with a manager who has been there 5 years and has not really won sod all. Right? But still, okay. So Gary Neville, who he tips to win the Premier League, was like, yeah, that's a really good result. Really professional result, 2-0 against West Ham. Right, Gary. So then, the West Ham, that by the way Sunderland slapped 3-0, okay, who are in 19th place and have sacked their manager because they're rubbish. But that's a really good result, 2-0. Right, so 2 minutes later, he's asked about United beating Sunderland by the same score, which actually flattered Sunderland because their goalkeeper made a number of really good saves. One phenomenal save from Bruno. And again, it could have been and should have been more, really, because of the first half performance. But the same score against a team that are 7th in the Premier League, who had not been beaten, who beat this West Ham 3-0, that Arsenal beat 2-0, and Gary Neville was like, oh well, yeah, they should be beating them. The fact that it was ever in question is a problem. What are you on about, mate? It is clearly targeting stirring up emotion for their gain. You cannot have that level of knowledge that you profess to have about the game of football and then make two completely opposing statements like that. So Arsenal, who probably should have won a league and are tipped to win the league because they've got the strongest squad, against a shite West Ham team is a really good result. But our team, that was shit last year, have been hammered for it and beat a team which nobody else have beat, who, like I say, beat West Ham 3-0, beat Burnley 2-0, drew with Palace, beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. Oh, you should be winning that. Okay, Gary, so where has your talk of manager sackings, etc. been on all of them other sides? So why haven't you come on top of Glasner? It doesn't make sense. And this is what we're dealing with. And what I want to say is, it's about time that the Reds, the number we have, stand up to this and say it's bollocks, and we know it's bollocks, and we know what you're doing, and we're not having it. So on every post that they put up, every mainstream post where they try to create tension, stress, division in our club, every single Red, call it out. Call it out. Because if the boards, if their comments and everything gets flooded by us telling them that we know what you're doing and it's nonsense and it's hypocrisy, then they can't ignore it. They can ignore me. They can ignore you on our own. But they cannot ignore millions. They can't. So, with this sort of say, it's just annoying because they use our club because they know they gain from it. There's been not a peep about Eddie Howe or Unai Emery. Not a peep. Yet we're supposedly so bad and we was above those teams who last year finished much higher than us. So they've had a bigger fall, yet it's still on hammering. It's just hypocritical nonsense, and it's about time it stopped. So yeah, my hope is that, because like I say, I don't have the platform, but hopefully one of you that might see this, might stumble on this, has more of a platform, or knows somebody that can start getting the message out. Because if we unite for the good of our club, we've got too big a number for them to ignore. They can't keep doing it then. So, but yeah, I'll be interested in your thoughts, guys. Like I said at the start, on anything, but particularly on this. Do you guys know of anything else we can do to try and stop this shit? Because it's to the detriment of our club. So let me know any thoughts, anything I can get behind, because I'm sick of it. So I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, cheers for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with every red you know. Let's get it out there and shut them up. Cheers, guys.